Hello, everyone. My name is Atishay Jain, a junior in high school, and your host for another episode of the Mental Health Corner. I'm passionate about spreading awareness to improve the well being of adolescents and adults alike through relatable stories and resources that we will discuss together on this podcast. Today, we have a very special guest who has a story to share, a story of adversity, a story of hardship, and a story of perseverance. The founder and director of the Satrangi School of Fusion, Rohit Baxi has revolutionized the world of dance in the United States. Rohit is an amputee who lost his leg at a young age and a survivor of Ewing sarcoma, a type of bone cancer. He was bullied and ridiculed as a kid when he showed interest in dance, but has worked tirelessly since, inspiring the journeys for and the stories for many young students who have a passion like his. Rohit has worked with Bollywood stars such as Amitabh Bachchan, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, and countless others to spread his passion and desire for dance. He has presented innovative dances across hundreds of venues around the country and abroad. A dance legend with an inspiring story. We are very lucky to have Rohit here today. He will share his experiences on mental health experiences and his journey to success. Rohit, a very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Atishay. Thank you so much for such an amazing, warm welcome. And thank you for the opportunity and thank you for taking time out to speak to me. So I think just as you had summed up that, like my mental health journey started at the age of 2, where I wasn't even aware of it that I had cancer, a type of bone cancer, which led to severe complications. And then at the age of 13, my leg was amputated. So back in the days in the South Asian community, there was not much that was talked about mental health. There was no um, area that was for mental health. For them, it was not something that people talked about. It was very hush hush. There was a lot of stigma attached to it. Even talking about it in households was banned. So I don't know if I was depressed or I was just coping with my situation of losing an arm and a leg, like using a part of your body. Um, but at the same time, I had to face pity, people being sorry for me, people treating me differently, um, just because of my handicap. And that was my start of my self-awareness that yes, I'm mentally depressed, I'm going down, I don't have self-worth. And that's when I figured out that I had to do something about my life.
Such an inspiring start. I can totally relate with the South Asian stigma. Even today, so much stigma in the South Asian community still exists regarding mental health awareness. And then, through avenues like this podcast that we host together, I
Mhm.
think we can eradicate the stigma or help, take steps towards eradicating it. So in your experience yourself, what made you choose dance as an avenue to express your passion and help eradicate that kind of depressive phase that you're going through?
So right before I even touch about dance, I want to do a full circle for the audience and for the people who are listening to this podcast. Is that just like Atishay mentioned, it's a stigma. Um, I have come a full circle, but I lost my mom to dementia and to Alzheimer's, and people say that it all started with depression. So not only my depression, but I can also see how the depression hit my mom as a parent of an amputee child, which was never talked about. But today I can talk about it because I have seen it happen to my mom, but my mom didn't have any help. Maybe her mom didn't have any help, and my intent of talking about my life is to maybe inspire somebody and go and get some help or take steps to fight this like an ailment. Because for everything, there is a solution if you work towards it. So my journey towards dance started with the realization that I'll never be able to prove myself towards anything until I use an activity which uses my 2 legs. The hunger in me was so high to fight the depression that I was like, no, I'm not going to be a failure. I'm not gonna be you know, a physically challenged person. I have to do something to make my life happy. And dance and music and costumes made me happy. And that's when also I realized that I was not only an amputee, I was a South Asian gay male too. And the depression hit me even harder because now you're talking about two stigmas attached together, like being an amputee and then you're a gay South Asian male. You are being forced to marry, you are marrying, or you are dating girls just to prove a point, but you're battling a severe depression behind your back. And for me, Satrangi and my dance group became my rainbow, a rainbow of colors, a rainbow of happiness, a place where I could prove myself that I have art, I have talent, I have dance that I can teach to kids, and the legacy will go on. Even though I don't have a family of my own, there are thousands of kids out there who have a small portion of road by in them, and they respect it and they take it forward, and that's my legacy. But am I, when I look back, do I want to do the same journey? Yes. Do I want to get earlier, sooner help for my depression? Yes, of course. But maybe I was lucky, but maybe there are a lot of people who are not lucky to get a ray of hope. Because all you need is a ray of hope and a bit of sunshine and then a rainbow in your life will be good.
Thank you so much for that. So it's really great that you're providing, an avenue for others who may be having similar experiences like yourself to, be a part of your dance community. And I've seen videos of the dances that you do myself, and they're really innovative, So what kind of inspired you to start
Hmm.
your own school? Was it something about your past experiences as a child where you couldn't have the opportunity to pursue your dance passions and you wanted to share your passions with others through the school, or
I think my passion was just to prove a point that the world was don't make me invisible, like I have a say, I have something great that I'm pretty to show to the world. There's a lot of stuff going on in my mind, but what drove me was the fact that the utter sense of neglect that you get from society. Just because something as painful as cancer happened to you is very, very, you know, painful, And as a 13-year-old child, it's even more difficult to understand because you're a teenager, right? Because you don't have the world experience in front of you. So um, I want to do creative work. I don't care about name tags, concerts or no concerts. I feel that a good director can put up a show with any number of kids, teachers, or students, and a good director just believes in putting up a good show because the show must go on. And my job is to just keep on creating stories and layers of choreography so that I can tell my story to those in some happy format.
awesome. Well, we appreciate from the society perspective of, you taking that opportunity, taking that initiative, even though you received so much backlash, from the community earlier on in your career. So I guess how did you tackle that backlash and how did you tackle that ridiculing or bullying that you would face as a kid when you expressed your interest in dance?
Oh, I was told that when we need somebody in wheelchair, we'll call you in a
Oh,
dance
wow.
studio, which hurt quite a bit. I have been said that you can't even walk properly. How can you dance? A lot of mean things have been said to me, but my mom has always taught me, my dad has always taught me that you don't need to do anything to prove anybody wrong. Just keep on
Mhm.
doing your work. And if your work is honestly and you have passion, your story will be written. I am making a difference in people's life. Somewhere in a small, tiny, minuscule level, when you look at the whole global, you know, area of creativity. But at least I'm doing my part, and I'm trying to battle my depression also with that. Like it makes you happy, it makes you forget all your worries. So the drive is definitely keep on telling my story. The drive is definitely to keep on inspiring people. And if I can change one person's life somewhere out there, it might be a life worth living.
I guess what provided you that motivation to change even that one life? I know you've changed countless numbers of lives, so I'd say that, you're pretty successful in what you accomplish, or do you feel successful in your journey?
Um, so somebody has once said to me, a true teacher never stops learning
Hmm.
and never looks at success.
Hmm.
I'm a teacher. I'm a creative director. I'm a very simple-hearted guy. For me, um, I think I just want to keep on learning. There's so much to learn, so much to look at in the world,
Mhm.
so much to learn. Like sometimes the credit for depression, there are so many different ways we look at depression at the different stages of life, you know. But we learn something from each side that when we come out of it. There's a small part of us which is stronger than we were in the past. So hope takes us forward. And for me, I think I just want to live a happy, normal life like anybody else.
And I think for a lot of viewers out there, who may be struggling with depression, anxiety, or other mental health disorders, what would you recommend to those viewers who were struggling to find that ray of sunshine that you mentioned, or that sliver of hope? Sometimes we find ourselves in positions where we seem like everything is just falling apart in our lives, right? But how do we look for that hope?
Talk. I think
Mhm.
if you talk to anybody, even if you talk to a tree, the tree will respond back to you. Talking helps. Talk to somebody. Because sometimes voicing your own fears makes you look back and say, that wasn't bad. It was okay. I voiced it. Sometimes it becomes better. Sometimes people get anxiety. But sometimes um, you get the sense that talking will not help. But no, talking helps. I learned this thing from Atishay's mom, who's a world famous, healer and positivity guru, and I see so much of positivity that comes out of her mouth, and she heals us just by talking to us. There's no medicine, there's no magic, there is no, there's no, there's no magic. Sometimes words help.
Mm.
A ray of hope helps. A a word like where somebody will just ask you, "Are you okay?" That's all we are looking for. Are you okay? And sometimes you just want to look at that and say that, okay, at least I could, somebody asked me that. But they won't ask you if you don't talk.
Mhm.
So the main thing is that definitely to all the people who are struggling with anxiety, depression, other mental health is that talk.
Mhm.
My mom didn't talk. I lost her. Um, I've lost, like, I've seen people lose a lot of empathy because they didn't want to talk. So the ray of hope is talking because you have to believe that when you voice it out, things will get easier. And believe in
Mhm.
yourself. So that's it. And so yeah, just like I am an inspiration, Atish's mom is an inspiration to a lot of people like us who are doing jobs in the community, but she is the invisible hero who helps us and gives us some kind of a power. But I might have different kinds of hope me in the past 30 plus years who have given me some kind of strength. So sometimes talking helps.
Right. And I think that communication and just checking in on your neighbor and, just asking them if they're okay or how's their day going can really make a huge difference. I know when I'm having not so good
Yes.
days, yeah, when I'm having not so good days, my friend might just come to my room and say, "Hey, just wanted to check in and see how you're doing." I know the moments like those just really resonate with me and just make my day a lot better. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for sharing that insight. And I guess one more thing to kind of like wrap up your journey um, is at the start of your career, we already talked about, the oppression and backlash that you faced. But what gave you that motivation? What gave you that determination to stand up for yourself, fight against those stigmas, and open a really successful now dance school?
I learned this like a very hard way. And my mom used to tell me that if you won't stand up for yourself, nobody else.
Mm,
And even though I couldn't stand up by myself on one leg, with my other leg amputated, I had to learn how to stand both my legs and make the best of the life that was given to me. I don't know if it's best, but in my eyes, it's pretty. And I'm
mm,
content with that.
gotcha. Well, thank you so much for all your insight. You have such an inspiring journey that many viewers can relate to in some way or form. And before we part, any last message to viewers who may be struggling with expressing their anxieties or depression or anything like that? Something that you want to say that provides them the opportunity to, like share their experiences with others.
I think if you can tell them reach out to somebody anonymously, there's a lot of help, support provided online. Like, Atisha, you're doing an amazing job putting this out there. So they are angels in all shapes and forms. So please just believe that there's hope because hope is something you're all, it's something in us because nobody has seen hope, but we feel it. Nobody has, and we live on that. So just don't lose hope. That'll be my parting words.
Gotcha. Yeah. The grass on the other side is always greener. That's something I always grew up listening. And I think, your idea of hope, and there will always be hope. You just have to wait for it or look for it, is something that we can really attribute to our lives as well. So one last question is going back to that South Asian community, stigma. So we find it really difficult to talk to our parents, with all these familial norms. So what would you say to communities like the South Asian community itself who may have this like pre-existing stigma? How can we help eradicate the stigma that comes with talking about mental health?
The best way to eradicate is for parents to listen to the child. If the child is saying that something is wrong and he needs help, listen.
Mm,
There's a huge stigma attached to it. Don't talk about it. If you talk, we'll make it real. Don't tell your friends, don't tell your husband, or don't tell your fiance, don't tell your wife. Uh, um, and if a child or a person is talking to you about depression, listen to it. Listening is the first step towards opening a gate of, I would say, hope again. Listen.
listening and communication. So I think
Yes.
those are the biggest things that we can take into account when spreading and creating mental health awareness. So that all those viewers out there really listen, really take into account the everyday conversations you're having with someone. Recognize signs of depression, recognize signs of anxiety in the person next to you so that you can help them by just providing them the resources to use. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time again today. Again, I'll link the URL to Rohit's dance studio in the comments in the description below, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for your time again today.
Thank you.
Awesome.